Yeah. Mm. Yeah. All right, what's going on, Philly fans? This is Philly Day One. Hey, I got something special for you. It's a little emotional. It ain't like C.J. Gardner Johnson, but it's still pretty emotional. Um, First off, Vic Fangio knew that Jalen Hurts was our quarterback. He told Nick Sirianni when we played the Broncos, that boy ain't got no flaws. That's what he said, no flaws. I'm a little critical of him, but Vic said it. You know what I'm saying? So also, if you had seen the 7 p.m. Brooklyn show with Carmelo Anthony, you would have seen Devontae Smith on the show. And a lot of people didn't watch the whole thing. I had time today to watch the whole thing. I watched the whole show, and one thing that he said that Darius Slay was doing when he first got to the Eagles is he would tell him what route he running at the top of the route. I wasn't giving Darius Slay enough credit, man. This man was telling him. So he said when he was about to break, Darius Slay say, hitch, comeback, flag, post. He would tell him the route as he's running the route. Hey, Darius Slay on another level. I didn't realize we need to go get that back. If he out there calling out routes, we need to go get him back. Something's going on. So, I didn't realize. I'm sorry about that, Darius Slay. I've been very critical of you and your play, but I guess veteran, you can't teach experience. Can't teach experience. So look, if you've been hiding under a rock, you will have no idea that Shannon Sharpe and Asante Samuel has been going back and forth on Twitter. Not only just Asante Samuel and Shannon Sharpe, but also Prime Deion Sanders has been going back and forth with Asante Samuel. And a lot of people feel like Asante Samuel crazy. I'm finna put a picture up here, man, in which I want y'all to look at. I want y'all to like really, really analyze it. The argument is that Asante Samuel is not even in the same stratosphere as Deion Sanders. So he ain't supposed to be nowhere near him. He can't even drink from the same pond. But Shannon, you are a statistics man, a man of stats. I'm gonna put this picture up here. Let y'all sit on that for a bit. Them numbers are 3 picks off. 3 touchdowns off. And what? He played 188 games. Asante Samuel played 157 games. One thing that I thought Shannon was a realist. When Shannon comes across the screen, I figure he's a realist. He's gonna tell her how it is. Even when he said something about him and Chad Johnson had the debate about Jerry Rice or Terrell Owens and Randy Moss. Now we know, I think everybody know that Randy Moss and Terrell Owens were wide receivers that we'll never see again. I think Jerry Rice was very consistent throughout his whole career. So yes, that is something to say for being consistent for 20 years of playing in the football league. 19, I just rounded up. 20 years playing in the football league. You was that consistent. It is something to say about that. I'm not taking that away. But these are generation athletes. When they came in the league, they possessed something special. If you talk to anybody about who Jerry Rice was, what was his attributes, what was the best parts of Jerry Rice's game, you don't get nothing. Like you don't get nothing. He was just very consistent. It's the same thing here, man. Asante Samuel, I feel like people think it's a disrespect to Deion Sanders because Asante Samuel was good at corner with lesser tools than Deion Sanders. That's all I think. Because you can sit here and debate. You can sit here and debate about LeBron James being better than Michael Jordan. And you'll bring out all these stats and why he's better than Michael Jordan. But if you look at the stats right here, you'll read these stats and right as you read them, it ain't like you didn't see them. You know what? I'm gonna put the video of him reading the stats off and just straight ignoring the stats. He ignored these stats. These stats show he is right up there with Deion Sanders. Asante Samuel, how you feel, don't matter how you feel about him. He is right up there with Deion Sanders. Man, that man had 51 picks. Deion Sanders in his career had 9 that went for touchdowns. So Asante Samuel had 6 that went for touchdowns. I heard somebody say something about, oh, Deion Sanders had 3 touchdowns in 1 game. So he still at the end of his time had 9. He was 3 off. So I guess if he didn't play that game, then they the same player. Get out of here. The stats show they ain't this. Now, I get what you're trying to say, man. Now, Deion Sanders, I'm not trying to take from Deion Sanders because he might be, it could be debatable between him and Bo Jackson that he is the best football player we've ever seen. That means variety. He played wide receiver. He was a punt returner. He also played cornerback. Like, what I'm saying is, at cornerback, they did almost the same thing. For you to say that he ain't even in the same stratosphere as him is a direct undercut of what Asante Samuel has done in his career. No mistake about it. Asante Samuel had a great career. There's all the Charles Woodsons and everybody you just named, but nobody touched the stat line. Neither one of them touched the stat line. Everybody you just named in that video do not touch the stat line. You're sitting here, you wanna pick and choose whoever the stats go for. Like when it's LeBron James, that's your friend, so the stats go for him. When it's Jerry Rice, that's your friend, so the stats go with him. No, bro. If you're gonna be with the stats, be with the stats. If you're gonna talk attributes, talk attributes. Then you got a real argument when you say that he's not in the stratosphere of a Deion Sanders because of the attributes. He's not. He's size-wise, speed-wise. You know, at that point, he's not. But if you talk about stats as far as the game is concerned, Asante Samuel played cornerback just as good as Deion Sanders. And that ain't no debate. That's stats. You just seen it. Stats. Look, and I ain't even say nothing about this with seven forced fumbles. So, I mean, put some respect on his name, man. You sat there, you got up and down about Skip Bayless calling you out your career, like undermining your career for Tom Brady. You're doing the same thing to Asante Samuel. The man had an amazing career at corner. Now, if you want to factor in punt returns, kick returns, wide receiver, you want to factor in all that stuff, then you got a new conversation. But at corner, yes, he's an equal. He's an equal to Deion Sanders. He's an equal. The stats say he's an equal to Deion Sanders. Now, you know, there are those things we can talk about attributes. In that sense, he ain't. That just make the fact that he was able to do all this without the Deion Sanders speed, the Deion Sanders size, that make it all the better. Asante Samuel's 5'10". 5'10" at corner. 180 pounds. I don't know what we talking about. I know a lot of people had threw their thing in there about it's crazy, all that. Look at the stats, bro. Look at the stats. You know, I'm gonna play the video at the end. I'm gonna play the video right now.
168 games, 53. Deion played 188 games, 53 interceptions, 3 playoff interceptions, 2 Super Bowls. Asante, 51 interceptions, 7 playoff career interceptions, 2 Super Bowls, 50 plus interception, 94 pass. Please start saying they don't throw his way. Asante, I love you, bro. I love you. I think you're phenomenal, but you're not in time's realm. That's not even close. You're not. Nobody will ever say Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders in the same breath. You were fabulous. That's the greatest corner to ever put on pads and a helmet. The lockdown, where do you think this term came from? Where do you think that term came? Ocho, do you realize where that term came from?
Yeah.
The cover corner, the shutdown corner, the cover one side of the field. When he took sometimes people like, when I say time locked it down, there was no safety in the hole. So if you ran the post, go back and look when he picked it on Rocket Ismail. He got him man to man.
Yeah.
They threw a post with nobody in the hole.
Yeah.
Time ran, jumped over the top of him and picked it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put the ball up and came back this way with it. Asante, you are fabulous.
Yeah.
You're not time, man. You can put all these stats up. Bro, you're not time. I get it. Your technique, you said the T-step worked for you. Good. Ocho and I are trying to explain what we try to do is we try to eliminate wasted motion. Okay, you felt that the T-step would serve you better than to start the back pedal because everybody is up underneath them and come forward. You felt the T-step gave you that a bigger burst. No problem. Clearly it worked. You were a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
You won Super Bowls. You got 50 plus interceptions.
Yes, sir.
You're just not time, and it's okay.
Yeah.